Oh yeah, when are you ever going to talk about the Europe trip? It's been like almost a year since you've gone. You never posted anything about it. I know, but travel vlogs for me like need to have like a purpose, need to have a storyline. What am I trying to convey to my audience? And I didn't film with any of that in mind. I was just filming. I mean, I'm just saying that people want to know, girl. I know, it's just like travel content makes me want to be really artsy and creative, and I feel like with every video that I put out, I need to constantly one-up myself, you know? Do I get in my head? Yes, clearly. But we're going to do our best here. So welcome everyone to the European Summer Vlog series. So my sisters and I went to Italy and Portugal. In Italy, we went to Naples, Sicily, Sardinia, and Rome. And in Portugal, we were in Lisboa. So let's get started, homies. But actually, even before we even start that story, we got to go back to the beginning before I even arrived in Italy, because it took me 48 hours to get there. I had posted something up on Instagram and I never updated you guys because it was just like a lot. I went through so much that I really just wanted to forget about the whole situation. I think y'all deserve to hear the story. I'm gonna try to shorten it as much as I can. I tried to film this already once beforehand and it took me like over 30 minutes to explain it, so hopefully it won't take that long this time. Alrighty, so the first thing is I definitely learned my lesson, because I will never try to drop off Albie and also go to the airport all on the same day. I had to do that day. I had to drop him off at the dog sitters and it was hella hot here, so I was just sweating nasty, whatever, but I managed to get him to the dog sitters like in time. I then took the bus over to the airport. I had like enough cushion time to get to the airport. That morning I had made myself a breakfast sandwich. Unbeknownst to me, it's actually going to be the only thing I would eat for the next 24 hours. So let's start the clock of my journey when I arrived at the airport at 4:06 p.m. Now I already knew that I would have 3 layovers to get to Naples, and I was already mentally preparing myself for it. After the first flight, I arrived at the Qingdao airport. So I had 2 flights in China. Word of advice, if you need to fly through China, literally just fly through it once so that it's just like an international connection. Because I had 2, I had to do a domestic flight. I also came in like rather late in the night, so I technically was staying like till the next day. It was, even though it was just like for like an hour or so, but I had to get like a 24-hour visa and all that stuff. So yeah, if you're gonna go fly through China, just fly through it once. You don't need to do it anymore and get into a nice big international airport, not like me. I secured my 24-hour temporary visa. I got my luggage and I got in the check-in line. Now this is where everything kind of really started going bad. I got on the line with only 3 people on it, but I was flying China Eastern and it was like they decided to put all the new employees on the same shift because no one could figure out anything, dude, anything. Every person that went up there took forever. I was finally next, but something was going wrong and they were taking a while again. Then I saw on the screen that the check-in closes 45 minutes before departure, and I looked at the time, 8 p.m. and my flight was at 9 p.m. So I only had 15 minutes to get checked in. So I finally get to the counter and I'm trying to be like, come on lady, like hurry up, check me in, girl. For whatever reason, the person had a lot of trouble checking me in. They had to call in someone else and that person had to call in someone else. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But anyways, I got checked in and I remember going through the gate. They were like rushing me through, like, come on. You're gonna like skip the line and everything. I was like, okay, like phew, phew, phew. I'm like running. Also, one really big thing to note is that I forgot my neck pillow, okay? For this giant freaking journey to Naples, yes, I forgot my neck pillow because with carrying Albie's things, carrying my things, carrying Albie on top of that, I forgot to get a neck pillow, so it was really sad. I could see where my gate was and I was like, okay, let me go and try to see if I could buy a neck pillow. So the person that helped me didn't know any English. It was kind of safe to assume that if you're in an airport, you would speak some type of English just for international travelers that might be passing by. But I think because this was a smaller airport, maybe that's why they weren't speaking English. But anyways, I was asking them like, hey, how much is this pillow in USD? Person is like, I don't know. They told me to wait and I'm just like, I just want to see how much this is in American dollars. Like, that's it. She types like in her translation app, like, do you want to know how much this costs? I was like, yes, in USD, in American dollars. I can see from her phone, she's on WeChat. So she then WeChats someone asking them, I'm guessing like, how much is this thing, or asking for help or whatever. They reply and then she goes on the computer. So now I'm thinking, okay, she's going to tell me how much it is. No, she ends up being like, sorry, I don't know. And I'm like, girl, can't you like Google or, you know, whatever Chinese site that you can use to be like, blah, blah, blah into USD? Like, huh? So anyways, I see people lining up and I'm like, oh shit, you know what? I gotta go anyway. So I'm like, all right, thank you, bye. I left. Turns out it was actually for another flight and my flight is now delayed 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh fuck. The moment I would land, I would have 2 hours to make it to the next flight. So I'm like, okay, now I have an hour and a half to make it. If we're just gonna be waiting, let me go get something to like eat or drink or something. Turns out that in that airport, you can only use your card once. If you had already used your card for something else and you want to use it again, like you're not allowed to use it. It's going to be Chinese currency or a Chinese card. If you have a foreign card, you're only allowed to use it once. And now this one girl in front of me made the mistake of getting like this one random little thing and then she wanted to go buy something else and they're like, no, sorry. I was going to go get something to drink. They were having some trouble with the card reader. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm asked out. I'm just going to, go off to the side. There's like a little water fountain. I'm just going to drink some water from there. Anyways, now it turns out that my flight is delayed an hour. And I'm already, okay, that's fine. I got an hour to make my flight. No biggie. Like I can do it. An hour I can do. They're waiting, trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to go online. The internet doesn't work. You need to have WeChat. I think that's the only thing that was like working. So I'm like, fuck, I can't contact anyone. Then it ends up that my flight is delayed an hour and a half. Meaning I have 30 minutes to make it to my flight. Hey, I've been in those situations where I've had a very, very tight transfer time and I've been able to make it. So even though I was like freaking out, I was like, okay, 30 minutes, go, run, grab your shit and leave. Finally, we're getting in the airplane. Everything's kind of cool, except for the fact that my row, second to last in the back of the airplane. As a flight attendant, I have a connecting flight to catch. Is there any way you could move me closest to the exit or whatever? And he was kind of like, I don't know, but I was like, please, like I need to make this connecting flight. And so he's like, okay. But he's like, when we're already landing, that's when I'll move you. I was like, that's fine. Totally cool. So anyways, we're finally landing. He moves me to like the third row. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like I'm ready to freaking run. This whole time I have on my platform mules. All right, my green platform mules. And I'm like, I am gonna be ready. I think almost everyone on that flight also had connecting flights. So the moment we landed, everyone started like getting up. I already got up and I grabbed my shit. Those fucking doors open. Boom. I'm running with my chanclas, okay? And then we see a whole bunch of staff right at like the end. Yeah, your flight is canceled, your flight is canceled, your flight is canceled. I ended up arriving at that airport with 46 minutes to make it to my next flight. 46 minutes. So I'm like, I should be good. My flight, I should be able to make it. She's like, no, you missed your flight. I was like, how did I miss it? Like I have 46 minutes. Now there's a couple, I believe it was a Chinese woman and Australian guy. And he's like, oh, what flight are you on? Canceled ours, we're going to London. I was like, oh, my flight is in 46 minutes. They're like, oh, it should be enough time. So then the woman asked one of the staff, could she make it? And they're like, no, her flight is canceled. Like we canceled everyone's. And so you have this herd of people like, what the hell? Like why? So we start walking towards like the international gate. I'm asking this one guy, I'm like, dude, is there any way I can make this flight? He's like, no, sorry, like they canceled everything. He's like, but all of these people need to get on new flights. So what I would suggest is that the moment we get to like the main terminal, you got to run through, grab your stuff and get to the ticket counter so you could be one of the first people to get a new ticket. Bet, thanks so much. We get to the main terminal. I'm like, my bag's already there, grab my bag and I'm running to the ticket counter. I'm like the third person. Even though I was like the third person to get there, I was there for a really, really freaking long ass time. And I guess because of my destination. Okay, and here's the other thing. By the time I got to the ticket counter, I was looking at the time. I still had 30 minutes to make it to that flight. I still had 30 minutes to make it to my flight. And I could see literally right in front of me, the international departures right there. And I had a good 30 minutes to make it. So I was so freaking pissed that they canceled my flight. At this point, I'm like, all right, I need to get to Naples. And they're like, where? I'm like, Naples. And they're like, oh, damn, hold on. That takes forever. They're like talking it through or whatever. Lady comes back to me and she's like, okay, listen, so the best place I can get you is Rome. And I'm like, okay, well, how to get to Naples? She's like, well, you're going to figure that out. And I'm like, huh? That's the best that we can do. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? No, like I need to get to Naples. No, this is the only thing that we can do. And I'm like, okay, well, when's the next flight? At 12. Oh, it's 12 right now. She's like, yeah, 12 p.m. And I'm like,
in 10 hours.
Bitches, this is just tanking my plans so much. For all these people that were in the airport, all they gave us was a couple little like crackers and some water. They put us in a little airport car. They took us to an airport hotel. Trying to look at the bright side, I was like, wow, I'm in China. And I was like, well, that's cool. Just didn't know what was happening, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I can't contact anyone because internet is not working. They get me to my little room and I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is my room, but I'm still like so scared. Thank God I didn't delete my WhatsApp app on my phone because that was the only thing that worked. So I was able to get in contact with Karina because she was going to come and pick me up from the Naples, the main like terminal in Naples. She was going to pick me up there. I'm like, hey girl, listen, this is all the stuff that happened to me. And she's just like, what? I'm like, yeah, so I'm not going to make it there. Supposed to make it to Rome by this time. And I'm going to try to see if I can take like earliest train or whatever to Naples. Told her to get in contact with my sisters on top of that because they were going to meet me the day afterwards. So she got in contact with my sisters to tell them, you know, the situation. Next day comes again, I haven't eaten anything apart from crackers. You know, I wasn't expecting like a huge continental breakfast, of course, but I was like, can I get some bread and some fruit? At the time, I don't know if I should be trying some new stuff right now. I have a long flight over. I got to do all this other stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to eat at the airport. Here we are, gonna start the second half of this freaking journey. See you in Rome. We left to go to the airport around like 9 or something. The first thing that I see is like Starbucks. So I was like, okay, let me just go get some Starbucks. The guy at the counter that was helping me, he had a name tag that said Luffy. And I was like, oh my God, I love One Piece. He's like, oh my God. We had a little moment. I can't even. I'm so tired. Baby's first food. And now you would think, okay, Natalie, you're going to make it to Rome, but bada bing, bada boom. That's it. That's the end of your story. No, girl, there's more. I will tell you this, the flight over to Rome was great. I had the whole freaking road to myself. The world was just giving me some time to rest before the next half of this whole fucking situation was gonna happen to me. We're like, you know what, we're gonna give her some time so that she can chill, so that she could be ready for what's coming to her next. Finally get to Rome, I'm able to message Karina. For any of y'all that are going into Rome, like there's 2 lines of either like just like the regular passport control, and then there's another one. At first I thought you needed an app to go through like this part, and I'm trying to download the app, but the internet wasn't fast enough to download it, and like we're already, you know, making our way past there. So I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm not gonna go on that line. So let me just go on the regular. That took forever. That line was huge. And then I look over, it was like anyone from the United States, Australia, some other places are like, you just need to have that passport. You can go through this line. I was like, God damn. By the time that I realized that, like there was already a big line on that side, and I was like, oh, Jesus, so I couldn't leave. And that line took 2 hours. And I'm like, God damn it. Had I just gone on the line, the next couple of things wouldn't have happened to me. But finally, okay, 2 hours pass. I'm messaging Karina, telling her like what is happening. You gotta take a train to like the main hub of Rome. And I'm like, okay. Told me, hey, be careful. You need to make sure that that shit gets validated, because if not, they could fine you. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not trying to get fined. I'm running to like the little ticket machine. I get to the ticket machine. I see that the next train that's leaving is in like 3 minutes. And I'm like, I'm sure if the ticket machine is right here, the train must be like just right there. Nah, homie. It was like down, straight, up, and you gotta run even more. All these years in Korea has trained me for this moment. So I grabbed my shit and I'm like, going down the stairs, going up the stairs. I'm like, oh my God, I'm running. I see the train. I'm like, wait, I gotta fucking validate this ticket. So I'm going and I go to validate the ticket, and then I run back and the train leaves. And I was like, God damn. And I'm like, let's see if I get the next train. So I asked one of the guys there, I was like, hey, I missed this train. Could I go on the next one? Do I need to buy a new ticket? He's like, no, it's okay. You could just go on the next one. I was like, all right, cool. Get on that train, fine. We make it to Rome. And now I'm like, okay, now I need to get a ticket for the train. Karina had told me to download an app, but again, the internet was too slow to download anything. I'm like, I'll just get, you know, a little ticket there. I go to the little ticket machines and I'm trying to fucking go buy something, and it's just not working. So I tried it again. I was like, okay, it's not working. I go to another one, it's not working. Go to another one, it's not working. And so I'm trying to ask someone like, hey, where can I buy tickets? And they're like, well, you need to go outside. And I'm like, okay. So then I go out. I'm in there. Now I'm waiting in line. I'm just like, please, I just need to get this fucking ticket. I'm looking at the time, and the next one is leaving like quite soon. And I'm like, dude, hurry up. I'm trying to fucking get on this train. And I see that this one guy like crossed the place, like he had just left. So I ran over there and I'm trying to get my ticket. I grabbed my ticket and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run to the train. I'm like, where the hell is this train at? I'm like, okay, because literally everything is like, I wasn't mentally prepared at the fact that like, oh, I'm in Italy, I'm doing this stuff, because literally it was a very last minute trip for me. My sisters were kind of just like, come join us. And so I'm just there for vibes. You know, I didn't do any research. I didn't like download Italian on my phone. Like I didn't do any of that stuff. And so I think I was very underprepared for all this other stuff that was happening. And my headspace was kind of like, whoa, with everything that was happening. Anyway, so I'm trying to run to a train. I'm going to a train. I see the train and I was like, wait, I need to validate this ticket. So I run to go validate it, but I'm like, where the hell is one? I see one, I go validate it. I start running back to the train and the train leaves me. The train fucking leaves. And I'm like, I'm out. I want to go home. Take me back to Korea. Fuck this, dude. Fuck everything. I was so mad. I was just like, I'm over this. Like, I just want to go home. Let me just go get a new ticket. So I'm asking people like, oh, I just missed my train. Where can I get a new ticket? And they're like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I asked someone else. They're like, oh, we got to go this place. So I go to that place. No, you got to go this place. And I ask someone else. They're like, you got to go all the way over there. I'm like, okay, so I finally go over there. I'm like, hi, I would like to get a new ticket. They're like, yeah, no, you got to go to like the main place that's in the station. I'm like, fucking kidding me. It's fine. I walk over there. There's a huge freaking line. By this point, it must have been, I don't even know. There's like a shit ton of people in front of me. So then finally a staff member gets to me and I'm like, hi, I would like to get a new ticket because I just missed a train. She's like, oh yeah, that was the last one for the day. So you got to wait till tomorrow. Bitch, I wanted to go home. Take me home. Plane, I'm out of here. I'm out of this motherfucking place. I'm tired. I don't want to be here. I hate this place. Like literally that was like my brain at this point because I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Are you kidding me? I'm like, I'm gonna have to stay here the night. I was like, what the hell? Like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I started like crying. I was crying. I messaged Karina and I was like, oh, what the hell do I do? I see that there is another train, but a different company. So I'm like, okay, this one is leaving in like 5 minutes. I gotta go get it. I'm like running, trying to get to another freaking ticket machine. Of course, they're all filled. And I'm like, Jesus freaking Christ, please let me like just get something easily. Finally, it's my turn next and I'm going on the thing and I'm like, dee, 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 grab my fucking ticket. That cost me an additional like 60 euros. I start running to the train, but to make sure to validate it, I get on a train and I finally made it. I'm making my way over to Naples. Now on this train, there was these girlies that were like singing their little hearts out, singing to like some English songs. And any other time, I would be like, sing it, girls. Like, I'm gonna sing with you. This time I was like, shut the fuck up. No one can be happy because I'm so mad. I was just like so miserable inside. I was like, I'm honestly tired. I'm done. Everything, I'm just done. So I messaged Karina and then she tells me, oh yeah, by the time you're gonna get here, there's no more public transportation and it's kind of a little bit dangerous. So yeah, I can't make it down there. And I'm like, oh God. I make it down finally to Naples. I get out of the station. Again, I'm not in the right headspace. I wasn't prepared to take the lead of like, oh, I'm traveling. Now I learned my lesson of like, regardless if I'm not the main person that is planning the trip, I should still be in there like mentally. But I really, was like, oh, okay, let me just like la la la, because the times where I travel with my mom is me. She's just like la la la. She's just there for vibes, and I take care of everything. Because at this point, I was going there by myself and not having anyone else. Like again, headspace like was not it. Now I'm outside. I'm like kind of a little bit worried because I'm like, oh, they say it's dangerous. And I'm just like, what is happening? A lot of people trying to get a taxi, but they're only accepting cash and I have no cash and I can't find an ATM. So I was like, what if I just take a bus? But I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Finally, after waiting there for like another 15 minutes, this old man is like, hey, I'll take you to, wherever place you got to go. I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, hey, but I don't have any cash. I was like, I only have a card. And he was like, just get in. And I'm like, okay, but I'm like, do you understand what I just said? I don't have cash. I only have a card. And he showed me he had a card machine and I was like, thank motherfucking God. So then by the time that I finally get to Karina's place, it must have been like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I was like, hey girl, bye girl, I'm ready to go home. Like, I just want to go back home to Korea. The whole situation overwhelmed me so much. It was truly a life lesson and I will never put myself in the situation again of like not being prepared, even though I wasn't the main person of like putting everything together, because I think that's what really messed me up. But anyways, yeah, we got there and that's finally where we could start the video. God damn it. Me filming this took another 30 minutes. There's just kind of really no way. And I think that's why I never posted it up on Instagram, because I'm like, there was just so many things that happened and I was like, this whole thing like took a part of my soul and like crushed it. But now let's get into the fun parts. still, is it morning? Yeah, it's still morning. We're gonna act like the last 50 hours never existed. Anyways, I'm here finally in Naples. I'm at Karina's place and my sisters are coming up today, so we're all gonna meet up. Yay! Let's get today started. I needed to go down into the city to get a SIM card. Girl, this whole time without internet, I was like, I need that SIM card, okay? So on our way down, we saw this guy selling clothes and he was with like a couple other people. I haven't experienced this in a really long time, but I was met with a lot of like, are you Asian? And a lot of like eye pulling, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if there was really like any malice behind their actions. I tried not to think too much on it, but I ended up getting a lot of that throughout the trip, actually, of people being like, oh, look, your eyes or something. And I kind of was like, yeah, okay. It did make me feel uncomfortable. You know, I would say like, no, I'm Peruvian. And they were like, oh, okay. And yeah, so this guy was selling clothes and that's where I did thrift one thing. He's like, oh, it's €3. I was like, all I have is €1. And he's like, and I'm like, please. He's like, all right. I'm like, okay, thank you. Yeah, he was telling us to like go to like his showroom or something. And then of course he was like, this is older man. And he's like, so do you have a boyfriend? Like, you know, are you married? And I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Take your €1. I'm out of here. Anyways, we went into the city and I got my first gelato. And then we went to go get a SIM card. And getting a SIM card took forever. Thankfully, I had a picture of my passport because you needed your passport to get a SIM card. I was like, eh. So while that was happening, my sisters already had arrived to Karina's place. And where Karina was staying at, she wasn't like in like the heart of the city, a little bit further out. But my sisters had to wait for us outside while we made our way back. And I think my oldest sister was kind of mad at, I think, she was mad at me for sure. The middle child calmed her down, so thank you, girl. And the thing with Naples is that siesta is seriously taken. I think with the other places that we went to, it wasn't as much, or maybe it was just because like where we were staying at, I don't know. Going to the city more, let's explore. But I ended up actually not really filming a whole lot in Naples in general because I was so scared of pickpocketers, dude. Like really didn't want to get my shit snatched. So I really just kept to myself, and honestly that made the like fear of like, okay, someone could rob me, just robbed me of having a pleasant time. There's such a big difference from when I was filming in Naples versus like when I was filming in Sardinia. Like, bro. And around the city, bro, it was hot. I mean, Korea was hot as fuck, but Naples was just as hot. Even though when I'm walking around Korea, like I'm walking to some place, I'm gonna go in the store and there's definitely like AC. Walking around Naples, not like every place had like AC and stuff. Had some pizza. The main thing, I was like, I want pizza, I want lasagna. Like that's what I want in my trip here. The city was beautiful, but again, it just sucks that I wasn't able to film as much because honestly, I was scared of getting pickpocketed. Like I did not want to be posting a video on TikTok like, no, it happened to me, I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I couldn't risk that. So yeah, we just had dinner, and again, siesta, it was taken very seriously, and we just ended up going back to Karina's place and just kind of chilled there for the day. So for day 2, we were like, let's go swimming. There was a deli by where we were staying, and I was like, oh my god, it was so nice to have like a nice fresh roll, some good cheese, some good little like meats or whatever, and the fruit was cheap, and it was really nice. Wow, we've been here, I've been here 2 full days. Today is my 2nd full day. Finally having a little night out. My sisters are already inside, but I wanted to take some B-roll because I haven't filmed at all whatsoever. Kind of a little bit awkward too, and also I'm like, I'm not trying to get got. Tonight we're gonna do a little kind of like bar crawl-ish kind of thing. So let's get tonight started. Isn't that where your tomato juice, girl? So literally only Janina over here. I mean, and Gali too, because she doesn't drink. But Janina is the only one out of the alcoholic drinks that actually tastes good. We are hungry, but places are closing. So instead, we're gonna find another bar. The bars were cute. I think just a little tip, if you are gonna stay in Naples, try to stay more towards the city center. That was one thing that my sister had told me. She was like, you know, I felt like if we had stayed closer to the city, we would have been able to enjoy our time here a little bit more. So just a little tip for y'all. You know, girl, I was like, oh my God, okay, we're in Europe. We're gonna meet all these cute European guys. No, not even like one that I was like, oh, God damn, you know, like out of my league, but woo. Nah, didn't meet nobody, none of that in Naples, unfortunately. So my sister really wanted to go to that one pizzeria or pasta place that was in not the Notebook. Love, travel, peace, love. But anyways, that place was freaking jam-packed, dude, like jam-packed. So if you're trying to go to that place, you gotta get there hella early because there's gonna be a giant line. And I'm like, yeah, you're in Italy, man. You can go to any other place and have really banging food. Also, my sister really wanted to go shopping for some shoes, so that was our main thing. When we went out to the city that day, I think because it was more of a weekday, and apart from just that one restaurant that was super busy because of that movie, the streets felt emptier, so I felt a lot more safe to actually film. My fault.
You ugly bitch.
Is it recording? Yeah, probably. In today's little adventures, I got this ring. I got Michael Jackson here.
You ugly bitch.
Look real not elegant.
She wasn't elegant enough to be on it, and I'm very elegant.
You elegant.
I'm elegant. I'm golden mooding right now.
Then we walked around for a little bit, got a massage that was very much so needed. Also, BT Dove granita is like the thing. It's like a little slushy. But girl, word of advice, if you want a little granita, do not get it from like the machines, like the little like slushy looking machines. Nah, you gotta go to your
Giuseppe and Pepe.
the little vendors.
was so cute.
Yeah, they have the little like lemons on their little stand and everything, because that is like actual.
Just posted in the corner.
Exactly, and that shit was good. That's exactly what I wanted. I had so many nasty ass ones. It wasn't like too syrupy. It wasn't like, you know, crazy sweet or anything like that. No.
Make out mistakes.
No.
It's doing it up. It's turning up.
Good.
I missed that.
I haven't had lasagna.
Ooh, that's good. Wow.
And that was basically our last night. We watched some Drag Race. And that was it, because the next day we were going to wake up really early to head over to Sicily. So that was the start of the trip. I know, again, I didn't really film all that much in Naples, but given what people were telling me, I was like so worried. But honestly, the first couple of days I was like, oh my God, there's so many people, and I was like really psyching myself out. But after that, I'm like, nah, girl, you know, if you're just not stupid with your stuff of like throwing things around and just like putting stuff and like forgetting about it, like it'll be fine to just still film. Overall, we had a good time, but I think 2 days is kind of enough in Naples, especially for all the other places that Italy has to offer. I mean, Sicily was beautiful. Sardinia, oh my God, gorgeous, gorgeous. I wish we could have spent more time there, honestly. That was just amazing. But yeah, don't worry, that's gonna be in the next video. Oh wait, it's not gonna be one big video? I mean, yeah, because I couldn't put everything in one video, dude. That would be like, I don't know, like a 2-hour series. It took me like 30 minutes just to talk about the whole freaking airplane situation.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, dude.
That's a lot.
But anyways, yeah, so I will catch you guys in the next episodes for my European summer trip. Summer vlog series. I hope this video finds you well. Hope you're doing great, homies, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.